Hello my lovely Pisceans, welcome to Satara Tarot. I'm an intuitive tarot card reader and this reading is for you for 2021. So the cards I'm using for this year's reading is Morgan Greer Tarot cards, and then I'll be pulling a card from the Wisdom of the Oracle by Carlette Baron Reid just at the end of the reading, just as a confirmation or final message from universe. So we might get into this reading. So it was actually really interesting shuffle and the cards came out really smooth and really easily. However, at the beginning of the shuffle, the Queen of Rods jumped out the deck and landed on my little frame that I use here. And I placed it back in the deck and I carried on shuffling and it came out upside down. And I thought, oh, that's interesting. I wonder if that's relevant to the read. But I was pulled to put it back in the deck, so I carried on shuffling, and guess what, it actually came out in your October in reverse. So we'll get to that and see what that's all about. So I like to look at the year read and just see what major arcanas, because with the major arcanas, they're the ones, the energies that are really going to be significant for you in 2021. And I think you only have two major arcanas. So you have one appear up here, which is the Emperor, the number 4, and that appears in February. And then you have one appear in June, which is number 2, the High Priestess, which are two very different energies. And I have to say, what's coming for me, and I might read the first 3 cards together, because when I did the shuffle, the January, February, and March cards all came out together. And I think they're connected and they kind of relate to really the theme of 2021 as well. But before I do that, what I'm going to do is just go through each month, and we go from January, February, March, April, May, that way down. And I'm just going to go over the cards for each of the months. So the first card, you're starting off with the 9 of Swords. Then you go into February with the Emperor. And then March, you're going into the Queen of Pentacles. Then the 8 of Swords, the 6 of Pentacles, the High Priestess, Page of Swords, 9 of Pentacles, 3 of Cups, Queen of Rods in reverse, the 5 of Cups, and the King of Cups. And in December with the King of Cups, which is a beautiful card to end on. So with the first 3 cards coming out together, what's really the theme of this 2021 for you lovely Pisces? There's a little bit of a standoff happening in January, February, March. So with the January card, the 9 of Swords, the Swords represents the air sign. So that's about thought, clarity, thinking, communication. And the 9 is being trapped in your own thoughts and a lot of worry. So that you're kind of being bound to your thoughts and not sort of moving on from them and getting really caught up in them. And I think what it's creating, that worry that you're entering in January, are the next 2 cards. So the February and the March card. And the February card is the Emperor. The Emperor is the father of the major arcanas of the tarot deck, and he's number 4. And it's really about structure and order, and he is like the CEO of a company. So he's the boss, and he kind of has that role with having structure and order and boundaries. And the card next to it is the Queen of Pentacles. So the Queen of Pentacles is one of the court cards from the Pentacles. Pentacles being associated with the earth sign. So it's really about that sense of value, something that's tangible you can hold on to. And I have to say, the Queen of Pentacles is one of my favorite court cards. She's very hardworking, grounded, humble. However, she has this, she's worked through her life and really has abundance around her. She's very nurturing. However, in this reading, there's a very different energy. And the energy I get is there's a real standoff happening between the February and the March 2 cards here. And that could be a standoff within your own self. So you may be conflicted in your own thoughts or your own direction and come into a bit of a stalemate. Or it could be a standoff with another person. or with the situation. So however that may fit in your life, but there is a sense of a standoff that's happening. And the Queen is a nurturing queen, and a practical but nurturing. And the Emperor is also practical, but is very more structured and harder boundaries. And I feel there's a standoff with them two qualities, the nurturing and the rules, regulations and boundaries. And there's some sort of conflict that's happening there. However, it is going to be resolved in 2021, and I feel that you actually get the answer within your reading, which the answer comes down this column here. So you're going from Emperor to the High Priestess to the card that came in reverse. So I'll come to these cards because I think that's the kind of the answer to what's happening for you in January, February and March. Okay, so then we're going to go over to April, and April you have another sword card, and this is the Eight of Swords. So again, this is another card of being trapped within your own thoughts. So with this is causing worry and anxiety, and in the original Rider-Waite tarot, it's a person sitting up in bed with all the swords above them, so they can't actually sleep. So it's about being worried and having worrisome thoughts and not being able to sleep. With the Eight of Swords, it's really about being entrapped in them thoughts and not seeing a way out. So that really kind of goes with the theme of January, February, March and April, of feeling trapped and that sort of stuck and stalemate feeling. And there's a real kind of stubborn energy. The Emperor, it can be a very stubborn energy, and the Queen of Pentacles, not normally. However, in this deck and in this energy of this reading, there is a standoff. These two figures are back to back, caught up in your thoughts, feeling trapped. So there is the first few months of the year, there's something that needs to be addressed and resolved, and it's going to be a little bit of a battle. However, the energy does shift, and how it shifts is it's about compromise and about being able to be in your feminine energy, your intuitive energy. So as soon as we leave April, the sense of feeling trapped in your own thoughts, and also with this card, as most people know, these are just fabric binding around her face and around her body, and it's really very loose. So you could, easily wiggle out of this fabric being bound around her body, loosen your hands, and then unravel your what's kind of blinding you, what you can't see, what's stopping you from moving forward. Because once you do that, you will actually see there's an entrance here. There's a gap for you to walk straight through. You're not trapped. It's kind of, your own thinking that's sort of allowing you to stay in that energy. Okay, so as soon as we leave April and we come into May, again, we've got another Pentacle card, and this is the Six of Pentacles. And it's really about balance and making decisions, practical decisions, and who to give to. So it's really about, rather than being stuck in this energy of wanting to be the one in charge or wanting to be sort of your way and not anybody else's way, this is really about taking both considerations and weighing up which one you need to sort of give to. So it's kind of that give and take. So that's the Six of Pentacles appearing for you in April, which is going to really shift the energy for you. Not in April, sorry, in May. So in May, the energy is going to shift. And then you're going to be stepping into June. And this is a beautiful card. So this is your second major arcana. And this is why I feel there's a standoff between that masculine energy of stubbornness, rules, regulations, boundaries, and that feminine intuitive self. So the High Priestess is that ability to be able to be passive and go within and sense your own intuitive direction, rather than the Emperor, who has the rules, regulations and the boundaries. So the Emperor is more kind of an external action, masculine energy, and the High Priestess is a internal, feminine, passive energy. And it's really these two cards that kind of give you the answer what direction you can go in 2021 to allow that year to be successful for you. That sense of balancing your masculine self, your feminine self, or if it's in a situation, allowing that situation around you to be balanced out and to be fair, and to allow the masculine and the feminine to kind of work as a partnership rather than against each other. So see how you see these two people their backs are to each other, they're not facing each other, they're not communicating, they're not connecting. Where when you get into June, the High Priestess is facing you. So it's that ability to see both parts of the story and not turn your back on something, and to be open. It's beautiful, absolutely lovely energy. So when you get into May and June, there's going to be a real shift and movement that's happening in your year. Then we go into July, and that's the Page of Swords. So again, you've got quite a few sword cards happening here, Pisces. So with the Page of Swords, it's really about the start of the court card. So it's a young card, so it's a young energy, which is a really nice energy. So for me, any of the pages are, you know, that sense of newness and a willingness to sort of move forward in a different way of working. So, you know, when you go through the minor arcana cards and you go through the ace, the 2, the 3, the 4 and so forth, and you work your way up to the 10. So you've had the 8, you've had the 9, and then you go through that phase, and then you step into the court cards, and this is the beginning of the court card. So it's a student card. It's the, you know, the being able to sort of step forward in a slightly different way of thinking and working. So in your May, June, July. In your July, it's a really nice energy of gaining some sort of clarity, having the willingness to move forward. With the Page of Swords, sometimes because it's a page and it's inexperienced, he's kind of in the original tarot, Rider-Waite tarot. He's like wielding this sword, and he doesn't look that confident with it. In this one, he doesn't look that confident with the sword. And also sort of about communications of thoughts. He doesn't look that confident. However, he's a bit more tentative. So he's holding the sword with both hands. So there's, for me, there's a gentler energy that's happening. You know, you're not sort of charging forward. There's a sort of moving forward with hope for clarity and understanding and keen to learn, but in a really gentle kind of tentative way. And then we go into August, and gorgeous card. So the energy around you in August, it's really I think, to be honest, you've done a lot of kind of work here, a lot of internal work in the first half of your 2021 for you to step forward and move in a different direction. And I think when you get to August, you really feel that energy and that ability to see what you've done and what you've created. So here with the 6 of Pentacles, you're moving on to the 9 of Pentacles, which is quite a big leap. You've actually skipped the 7 and the 8, and you've stepped into the 9. And the 9 is about being financially stable, being independent, having abundance, and enjoying that. Really enjoying that sense of, you know, what you've created. You can sit back and actually enjoy what you've created. So gorgeous energy around you in August. It's going to be a lovely month. So hope you look forward to that. And August, and then we go into September, and again another lovely card. It's the 3 of Cups. That's actually, you've got a few cups at the end. So it's really interesting how your first half of the year is really about thoughts and communication, and then the last few months is really about emotion. So I do think that in 2021 there is a real call for you to really get into your emotional feminine self and be comfortable in that kind of part of your life. So in September, you've got the 3 of Cups, the cups representing the water signs of the zodiac. And it's really, the three are about coming together, celebrating and being with your community. So I do feel that all what you've been through in the year, there is a coming together in August and September of having that a sense of abundance and wanting to celebrate that with your tribe, with your people, with your family, with your friends. So September's got a really nice energy around it, of celebration. And then we go to the October, and I'm going to actually read these three cards down this way, because this for me is really summing up your whole 2021. So the Emperor appearing in February, being stubborn. The High Priestess appearing in June, being able to sit with that passive energy, tapping into your intuition, your feminine side. And then the Queen of Rods coming in October. So when I said earlier, when I did the shuffle, the Queen of Rods flew out the deck and landed on the frame upside down, and I popped it back in the deck and it came out in October. So I feel that this is like a real message to say, let go of that sort of passion and action and really get in touch with that passive energy of intuition. So I think this is about releasing that need to charge forward, to take passion, to take charge. Because with the Queen of Rods or the Queen of Wands, when she's upright, she's a very passionate person. She's quite happy to get what she wants, and she'll go for it, and she will have drive and vigor, and she's very creative and beautiful. And so I think it's about stepping back from the action, stepping back from the driving forwards and really going for what you get, and just getting in touch with that gentle, intuitive, feminine energy. So I think these three cards tell a really beautiful story. And then we go into November, and November is not the Three of Cups, it's the Five of Cups. And with the Five of Cups, again, it's related to the water signs of the zodiac, you being one of them. And it's really about allowing yourself to have some sort of loss and regret, but not getting stuck in that energy. So with the fives in the tarot, it's really the midpoint of the journey. So where you start off with an ace, an offering from universe to start a new beginning, and then you go to the 2, the 3, the 4, and you're working your way up to the 10 before you can step into a different energy of the court cards. The 5 is the midway point, and with any part of any journey, the midway point is often the point where it's where you start to struggle, and there may be conflict, and it's kind of that point where you go, okay, do I continue on this journey? Why did I start this journey? Is it too late to go back to the go back to the beginning, and have I got the strength to go on? So it's that real midway point. However, it's necessary to get through that midway point to get the strength to actually move forward, so you can then go into the court cards and then eventually go into the major arcana's journey. So with the Five of Cups, it's really about looking back on regret and loss of what you've lost, and often lost emotionally. So that could be in relationships, it could be what you've been attached to emotionally, a business, a house, if you moved house and you were attached to your old house emotionally. So, just that having that sense of loss and regret. So there's 3 cups that's spilt, so they've gone, they're in the past. This person is looking down at them. However, this person is not able to see the 2 cups behind them. And they are actually, if they turn around, they've actually got 2 full cups waiting for them, which is beautiful. So in November, I do think you need to give yourself some time. I think you're going through quite a shift in energy in 2021. So I think by the time you get to November, you do need that time to have some sort of self-reflection and look back at what you've been through, what you've lost, but also remember what you have and what you're walking into. And I do really think you will shift from that energy in November. It's not going to last, because with any minor arcanas, they don't last. They're a shift in energy, and you are going to then step right into being the king. So what a beautiful ending to 2021. You've gone through this transforming journey, and you stepped from a 5 of Cups into being the King of Cups. And the King of Cups is, you know, going through all that journey, that emotional journey, and becoming the king of your own kingdom, your own emotional kingdom, your own emotional world, and being able to feel comfortable and happy in that place, which I think is a real cry for 2021. Is, you know, you don't need to be the emperor of needing control and restrictions and boundaries, that you can actually be the king and feel comfortable in that emotional feminine energy. So beautiful 2021 for you, lovely Pisces. I hope you really resonate with this, and if you do, please press like, please subscribe. What I'm going to do now is just pull a card from Wisdom of the Oracle, just as a parting message to you from universe, and whatever message comes on the card you can sort of translate to what it means to you. And while I'm shuffling the cards, I'll just let you know that I will be doing monthly readings throughout 2021 for each zodiac sign. And what I'll be doing is taking each card from the particular month from your yearly reading, bringing that into the monthly reading. Just hopefully that will give some more depth to the reading and some understanding for you. And so please come back to Satara Tarot on YouTube to view the monthly readings. And let's see what this is the card. Thinker. Okay. Oh, that's funny. Sorry. Okay. So I'm going to show you the card. So the card, I absolutely love the illustrations on these cards. So that's the word. It's not the thinker. It's thinker, and that's the image. Let me see if I can get it without getting the reflection on. So beautiful. Beautiful card, and it's card 44, which I have to say, this really, for me, this really relates, and I'm going to place it there because it relates to your top half. So see how the Emperor being number 4, and the Emperor makes decisions with thought and, you know, with his logic, not with his emotional world. That's the Empress. She will tap into her emotional world to make decisions. He makes it from logic, rationale and reasoning. And this card is number 44, and the swords represents thinking and communication. And for me, it's really saying, letting this go, letting this thinking energy that you've entered 2021, allowing that to go, and really allowing that intuitive energy to step in. So hopefully that makes sense to you, and it's been lovely spending time with you, and all the best. Take care, and I'll see you in the January readings.